on today's episode of Anime Afterthought Plunderer, episode 13, Full Stomach. You know what? I'm calling bullshit on today's episode. After Doan was being such a fucking dick, we finally are gonna see him fucking pay when we see Jail at the exit of the fucking school. I was like, okay, it's time for a fucking Doan beatdown. And then it gets stopped. Not only, through a comedic scheme pulled off by Licht, but then Schumerman comes out of nowhere and fucking stop. Like, are you kidding me? The dude had Sonohara by her fucking hair. He stole everyone's fucking star. Like, okay. But this is basically what Plunderer has become. It's a military school slice of life, but ever creeping in the background is the fact that, hey, 4 of you fuckers are from 300 years in the future, and there definitely is a bunch of crazy shit that just went down and will go down. So last we left off, Jail, Lin, Pele, and Hina have been transported 300 years into the past to modern day Japan. It turns out they've actually been transported to a military school. And after witnessing some familiar faces, we are bombarded by a bunch of new characters, each and every one exuding their own uniqueness. And after a couple of fights, hostage exchange gone wrong, as well as Googling the term all thing, it seems the scope of their mission is a lot grander than they were led to believe. For it's not just saving Lick, it's kind of saving the world. Man, talk about a heavy burden. But this is where we start today's episode. Classes have begun and everyone is fully dressed in military attire, including Hina, who somehow forgot that this is a military school, so technically she's vying for a position in the military. It's like she's a candidate to become a soldier, and somehow Licht forgot that too. Don't ask me. Meanwhile, Jail is still not getting along with Tokikaze, but at the same time proving that these two are literally two peas in a pod. And of course, Lin is there serving up our comedic value of today, being overly enthusiastic about having a long skirt, whose dreams are quickly crushed by Captain Allen making his appearance. So it seems originally the plan was to have him be their teacher. Of course, this would make Jail and Tokikaze all gooey wooey, warm and fuzzy, because they seem to idolize this dude. And of the 3 people in charge of said school, I mean, yeah, I could go with Frenda, as we see, Licht point out a good fact about her attire, but Schumerman is 1,000,000,000% off the table, because we know he is an evil motherfucker, or at least, I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that he's one evil motherfucker. Hell, when your intent to kill is visible, I mean, come on, the proof is in the pudding. But of course, lo and behold, Alan drops the bomb. Yeah, sorry kids, plans have changed. Your new teacher is gonna be, yes, Schumerman. And believe it or not, this actually upsets Alan as they're passing by. He mentions, hey, try not to fucking kill anybody. There's also another reason he, wanted to teach this class. Yes, he was actually listening to the group from the future while they're trying to research and heard a bunch of terms, one in particular standing out to him, Alcia. But of course, Schumerman must have pulled rank. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do if you want to get close to, that immature little boy you got your eyes on, which sounds completely more fucked up than I meant it, but here we are. And probably the most interesting part of today's episode. Yes, something that has completely shocked, let's go ahead and dub them the Futures. Schumerman explains how this school actually works. Everything is based on a star system. Everyone is given a set amount of stars, and those who perform well in certain activities will be able to actually increase their count. And once an individual reaches 10, they can officially join the military. But for someone looking to fast track this process, it looks like the quickest way is actually to take them from another person, determining the battle, placing wagers, and then making an agreement. Does that sound familiar? Well, it does to the Futures, because yeah, this is, I believe we're witnessing the creation of the star stake. Boy, that is fucking exciting. Like, we're literally seeing it be created, or maybe it's even being rolled out first at this fucking school. Like, maybe this is the testing ground for everything we see in the fucking future, and it's got me excited. Now, while everyone was giving their initial 2 stars, it seems someone in particular was left out. Of course, it's our MC. Yes, Licht has no stars. And we learn if your stars get to 0, well, instead of being sent to the abyss, you're actually kicked out. And to be honest, Licht doesn't really give a shit. The only reason he's actually here where we learn in today's episode is because of Tokikaze. It seems Tokikaze's grandmother took Licht in and has actually been taking care of him. So when Tokikaze went off to this military school, it seems Licht followed on her behalf. Ironically enough, the only reason that Tokikaze is actually here is because, well, it turns out his grandmother has been rationing her food and giving a portion of it to feed the 2 kids. So it seems this starvation, this food shortage, language is a lot more serious than I thought, especially when you title today's episode Full Fucking Stomach. Like, damn. But of course, before we get to any more action, it's fan service time. Super Peeping Tom edition. Yes, of course, we get a nice conversation between Sonohara, Lin, and Hina, but let's skip to the bathroom scene where, Lick seems to be doing a little Peeping Tom action. I tell you, I mean, it just shows shit don't change. 300 years in the past, and this dude is still a fucking perv. Now, while our main trio of vixens seems to be, nonchalant about this, the other girls aren't putting up with his shit. So much, in fact, they're talking about stopping him from getting any fucking stars because they want to see his ass gone. Like I said, Lick doesn't really give a shit at this point. They even try to coerce Hina and Sonohara into fucking joining them. But like, no, we're actually trying to save Lick. And they're like, why? Like you're part of the, the group he peeped on. Like, before we know it, someone comes busting through the door. Well, you know what? If something so valuable, wouldn't you have kept it on your person? Everyone just decided to lock them up in lockers like no giant fucking gorilla human with red and blue hair and frog-like eyes could fucking open up doors and shit. Like, seriously? Upon seeing their locker rooms completely trashed and all their stars missing, initially they decide to blame Licht. He's already stated he doesn't want to fucking be here. Once again, I have to point that out. Like, yo, your process of thinking is completely skewed. And of course, we see the true culprit once we hear fucking Sonohara in the hallway screaming bloody murder. Doan, once again, has her by the fucking hair. I'm like, this guy is a dick. Seriously, this guy's a fucking dick. He's the one responsible for stealing everyone's stars, but because no one put their name, can you prove it? He proceeds to even take more stars after gathering fucking everybody's. He wants Tokikaze's now. But then he brings up the grandmother. I don't know if he's got her fucking hostage or maybe his family is in charge of her family. I don't fucking know. But Tokikaze pusses out, gives up his 2 fucking stars. I mean, we've seen a glimpse of his badassery with that fucking wooden katana. I'm really shocked that they're not fighting at this fucking point. So at this point, Doan has over the 10 recommended to actually, join the military already. He fucking walks off. Everyone is basically in a panic. Everyone has 0 stars now. Well, following Jail's example, he gives Sonohara one of his stars, so now they both have 1. Everyone starts sharing, but it seems there's not enough for everyone, to get one. Of course, Lick turns down Hina's, who then goes to Tokikaze, but then someone else comes around and needs one, so Tokikaze gave it up to him. A lot of self-sacrifice going on around here. But Jail brings up a really good point. Like, Tokikaze has been stubborn since the very beginning. I mean, we get all this information and he's so determined to become a soldier. Well, this is a soldier. I mean, you might have to, no, you're gonna have to do stuff you disagree with. I mean, that is, being a soldier. So you might have to go get your hands dirty and go take a star from someone. Of course, we have to slip in some more comedic genius between Lin and Pele. She spouts off about challenging him to a star stake, something that is not even technically invented yet. And then he fucking trips her. Like, the hell? Plus, I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense. He's like, hey, why the fuck would he agree to a battle in the first place? He has what he needs. Like, it doesn't mean fucking shit. Like, shit. But like I said, at this point, this is where, Tokikaze unleashes, the fact that he needs to save his grandma because she's the one that's been rationing her food. We see this, visibly affect Licht in Jail. So much so that we see Licht take off, bumps into Doan, and almost pleads and begs to get the stars back. Even I know something was up. I was 95% sure, he took the stars and Doan just didn't recognize it, but they kept the image in there. So I was like, what the fuck did he do? He did something, because at the end of that little scene, he smiles. But the most badass part of today's episode, like I said in the very fucking beginning, was the potential for a fucking fight. And I'm so pissed off that they didn't do it. Standing outside is Jail. He's at the exit. Remember? It says, hey, meet at the school gate if you get your fucking 10 stars today, and we'll fast track you to the fucking military. Doan is the only one that actually has the stars. Jail's like, hey, motherfucker, I want you to graduate. I want you to fucking leave here. Why? As soon as you step outside this gate, I'm going to beat your fucking ass. Oh, no. If you do that, you'll get expelled. Like, motherfucker, I don't have any stars. Well, it turns out he actually gave his to Lin to give to Tokikaze. So he's basically pulling another self-sacrifice. And he's like, I'm going to fucking wreck you. I want you to step outside. Either way, I'm getting expelled, so it doesn't fucking matter. And of course, Doan is fucking boasting like, hey, I beat your ass earlier. It's like, no, you didn't. I'm going to take it serious, so you better fucking man up. And I got so fucking excited. My nipples got all fucking hard, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. And as soon as they're gearing up, about to go fisticuffs, fucking Schumerman comes out of nowhere and stops it. I knew this guy was an evil motherfucker. Are you kidding me? That would have been badass. I wanted to fucking see that. And now he's going off about, oh, do you have the proper amounts of stars? Like, are you blind? I have all the stars right here. Well, like I said earlier, I knew Licht was up to something. All of the said stars on Doan's chest somehow turns into like, are they toy frogs? Like, I don't know. Is this some kind of fucking ninjutsu he's doing? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, we know from last week's episode, he is kind of a magician. He turns, a branch and makes flowers bloom and shit. But this, I mean, even I was surprised. And this pissed Doan off so fucking much. You see like the veins in his fucking head. It was hilarious. And plus it's a nice pun. It's a nice play on like the fact that these dudes' eyes look like fucking frog eyes. But in doing this, we actually see that some of Schumerman's plans have been foiled. It seems not giving Licht any stars was part of a grander scheme. Maybe he tried to assume this would all work like it did and it would be Licht standing at the gate ready to take someone on. But in the end, he decided to unveil 2 more stars and he ends up giving them to Jail. So obviously at this point, everyone is okay. I don't know if Doan was left with, how many did he have? I can't really remember. But yeah, and then it zooms back to Licht and basically we end the episode saying, guys, let's, use this school for all it's worth. I mean, no one wants to be a soldier. At this point, you really can't make up your mind of what it means to be a soldier. So let's take this opportunity while we're here. Let's keep our counts above 0 but below 10. Take this time to truly think about it. Think about what it means to be a soldier. And in doing so, you're actually saving all your family, the food. You're not there eating the shit. And like once again, it just shows you how bad this, the starvation, this food shortage is. And it's actually a very smart plan by Licht to basically use this institution to get free food and, lessen the burden, the impact on their own families. But of course, I don't think it's gonna go that easy. So all in all, today's episode was pretty badass. Like I said, it could have been better. And I don't know if they're trying to, tease us for a fight. Like I really wanted to see Doan and Jail go at it. I mean, he was a fucking dick. And for some reason, he seems to focus on Sonohara. We saw, him take it out on her twice now, as well as Tokukaze. I really, he needs to get his ass beat. Like, could have been a perfect episode. I mean, we got a little bit of fan service, a little bit of comedy, some more mysteries, the giant revelation of we just witnessed star stake battles being created. Just one good fight. Anyways, with setting up that potential, I'm hoping it's right around the corner. Honestly, I'm hoping it's right around the corner. So with that being said, I cannot wait for future episodes.